Morning YouTube, back again. I did try and do a video the other day on fixing a sticky brake on a Ford Cougar. Excuse me. But the data corrupted, so that one went down the toilet. I was quite annoyed about that. But today, Jesus. Today we've got a Citreon Berlingo that is making the worst noise you've ever heard in your life. I heard it come down the road the other day, it belongs to a neighbour, and it sounds like he'd run over a cyclist and was dragging a push bike down the road. It sounds like it's coming from the water pump-ish area. This power steering seems to have gone heavy as well, he's complained of. So now I'm thinking maybe it's the power steering pump shit itself. So what we're going to do is get some tools out to get it up in the air, get the driver wheel off probably, so then we can look under the, get the plastic liner out of the arch and we can see under there. Yeah, we'll go from there. But first what I'll do is well, I'm gonna have to show you the noise because it's bad. Right, I'm only doing this once. Yeah, that's the noise it makes. Not good at all. So I've got the bike popped so we can look down under here, because the noise is coming from this area somewhere. Not entirely sure where yet. Oh, power steering pump's up here. When I saw it running the other day, I didn't see any issues there. I was second guessing my thoughts then. Okay, so I think we've got an air conditioning pump further down. We need to look at that. So what we're going to do is jack her up, take the wheel off, possibly that arch liner, and see where we're at there. So get it secured nicely. Should use an axle stand and all if we're going underneath it. I should be alright. I've got a huge jack, so, but don't copy me. Right, I know we're not doing brakes, but that's a big score in there. So I need to remember to tell Terry he needs some discs. So he's going to need some pads and all probably. And we've got quite a serious leak going on down here. I suspect that's a split in that drive shaft boot and it's flicked grease everywhere, but I could be wrong. We'll check that in a minute. Right, anyway, what we was doing, we need to pop all these out to get us access under here to the auxiliary components. It would appear that they're mostly them plastic pop-out clip things, so let me go get some pliers or something and a screwdriver and get them out. Okay, there seems to be the problem. As soon as I got that plastic cover out, which was a clippy thing in the front here, and about 3 of these doodads, which was plenty. If you've got a trim removal tool, use them. You'll probably have an easier job than I just did. But yeah, I don't need to take this apart anymore to see the problem. This bottom pulley here, wow, look, fucking hell, it's shagged. That's a technical term. We called for very broken. Oh, well, that's simple enough then, anyway. Well, I say simple enough. I don't know if my puller will get that off. Okay. Right, well, this was typically just a diagnostic session. So, that belt, if we look, that's cracked and perished. So we're going to want a new belt. I dare say that's not at the right tension now, and that's why the pump's not working correctly for the power steering. This definitely appears to be a CV boot split. Yeah, when I was doing the wheels, there was a little left and right play in the wheel, so possibly a bottom ball joint there as well. Yeah, the arm rubbers don't look too bad. I can't really see the ball joint very good. Can you lot see? Does it look any good? Fuck knows. I'll review that. Okay, so I'm going to have to run it one more time just to 100% confirm this is the issue. But you can see the shiny bit. and it's all out of line, that's not right. I doubt it's going to be that the bolts just come undone. It's probably got a soft bushing in that bottom pulley balancer, whatever you want to call it, and that's probably shit itself. That's probably what's happened there. So I'll just have to confirm that and then make sure there's no other issues, like, before I let him know and we get parts on order. Alright, this is a little tip for you. This is just not for these cars, it's for any car. Don't let this crap build up around here. It starts to turn into compost all down in your rain drains. There's loads of it down in there. And then your car can't drain properly. And then you start to get where it fills up. Or it backs back up and it knackers your heater blower or your resistor for it. Well, if you're unlucky, some cars like Rover 75s, etc., have the ECU stuff down there. And yeah, I've seen it go bad on them because they've literally filled up with water. Because somebody just hasn't took the time to clean this out. Trust me. Look, there you go, look, composting. No good. No good at all. Okay, so we also complained of an heavy feeling on the steering. I'll just check the fluid and it's nearly full. It's a little bit off. I might have a little bit to top it up. I don't think that's the issue. I do think we've got like a belt tension issue maybe that's not spinning the pump up properly. We won't know until we put that new pulley and belt on. So really I need to go and price up the parts. Now I've had a little look around, and for a 2004 she's doing alright. There's no rot. Oh, there's the ECU on this. Yeah, there's no rot anywhere. It's really clean and tidy, to be fair. She just wants a little bit of love on her. A little bit of a rocker cover leak there. With the CV joint down the other side that we notice. Wants discs and pads at least on the front. Exhaust rattles a little bit. That just wants the bracket rebending, I think, because I actually fitted that and it was a crap aftermarket exhaust that didn't fit very well. But at the time somebody else was driving the vehicle and he needed it done, so he took it as it was, which was, yeah, a bit crap. But yeah, it's one of these anyway. Yeah, so if you're experiencing a noise that sounds like you're dragging a cyclist down the road under your car, it could be your bottom pulley and all. So alright, let's go and have a look, see if we can find out what some prices are. Okay, so when you're searching for parts, you've got to take care in making sure that you get in the belt that's going to be the right amount of ribs and the right length. And they usually tell you how many units they drive, etc. And that means air conditioning, power steering and all that crap. Now this one, I don't know if you can see, no, well it's stacked there. You've got power steering, you've got an alternator, and you've got an air conditioning pump right on the bottom. In the middle there's an idler pulley, and further down than that there's a tensioner, and then that goes around that bottom pulley. And that bottom pulley doesn't seem to be too expensive, and the belt neither. So far I'm finding the parts on GSF for about £30, so that'll be a bit of a Brucey bonus. So there's not what I could do now because Terry was on a night shift, so he's gone for a kip. So I guess I'm gonna have to put it back together a bit so it can be let down, and yeah, let him know what the score is, Georgia does, and order some parts. Okay, I was gonna end this here, but I'm thinking maybe when Terry gets up, because the parts aren't going to be very expensive, you might want to go and get them and get it sorted. So I've just chucked the wheel and that back on and put it on the floor now. I didn't put none of the plastics or anything back because I got a feeling he's going to wake up and he's going to say, look, can we get this done this afternoon? And then I'll get it cracked on and done. So unless anything changes, we'll leave it at this until later. Hey, so I had to put our a puller off Rick because mine's a bolt on and this one's not going to work. But there's a list of the parts that I've found. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to back up, get the wheel off, and use that puller to get that pulley off, obviously after we remove the belt. And then we can get Terry on getting some parts, because I've got council coming to fix me bathroom today. So, and I've also got to take the wife to work. So, busy, busy, busy. Minor crisis averted there. The jack slipped because I had safety stands underneath. We was all good. So we're all secure now. I believe that's the tensioner. We need to slack off that. Whoops, that. And then hopefully it should jam a little ratchet in there or something with an extension and slacken it off enough to get this belt off, I believe. But this is tight as balls. Right, that one was a bit of a wallop, but as you can see now, that moves about. So you can relieve the tension to get this belt off. First though, make a note of which way it runs. That's partially why I'm videoing this bit. So around there, around the aircon pump, up, around the alternator, around the tensioner, back up to the air conditioner, and back around it would seem. Under an idler pulley. Okay, let's get up. Right, so that's the belt out. And as you can see, it's in very poor condition. Showing its age there badly. And they're going all the way through just about. This is done. I was hoping we could find a part number, but that's long gone. But yeah, it's gonna need that when matching up with a new one of these at the parts store. So now let's get this one out. I don't know what size that socket is yet. We're gonna get a socket and I'm gonna get my Chinese and windy gun on it, and hopefully that cracks it off. If not, that's gonna be a bit more of a mission, and we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Okay, so that main bolt was 22mm, and I was expecting to have to use this fancy puller thing to pull it off there, but it literally fell off in my hands. It was that simple. So yeah, that's that. So we're all off now. I can send Terry to get a replacement. He's got them both in hands, so he can make sure that they're correct. And I've written down the important information he needs to know, like the alternator, the aircon, and the power steering run off the same belt. He should be all right now. Should be able to get stuff, and then we can get it back together. But for now, that's me done. So I need to put something under it to make it safe, so I can lay it down and pack some tools away. Wait for Terry to wake up, I suppose. Okay, so it's actually the next day. It's not very nice. It started pissing it down yesterday. Terry had been working nights, so he couldn't go and get the parts. He was in bed and I had stuff to do, so I couldn't do that either. But he's gone this morning to go and fetch them. I've sent him with the old parts and all the relevant information he requires, so hopefully he can do that. I would have gone and got them myself, but I've got to wait for parts that have been delivered for my mum's car this week, because I've got to do a brake cover and stuff on that. We'll do you a video for that when it comes to it. So yeah, it's a little bit wet and it's a lot windy, so but basically all we got to do now is reassemble it. So I hope you took your pictures you required or whatever. I did that little bit of video, so I'm hoping it's going to be enough. If not, I'm going to have to look for a diagram on the internet, because there doesn't appear to be no sticker or anything about with a diagram on. That sometimes you find. I'm not fixing the van today. They've only got the belt there. They haven't got the pulley. It's going to be in by 10:30 tomorrow morning. So awesome. I've actually got something else, so I've got to wait for somebody to come around. But other than that, yeah, that's it. Yeah, sort of put a spanner in the works, that has. But at least I'm not as busy now, I suppose. Yeah, so we'll bring you lot back tomorrow for the rebuild. Right, it's the next day again. I'm just waiting for the pulley to turn up. It should be within the next 10 minutes or so. But it's windy and it's raining. It's really miserable. It would have been better if we could have got this done yesterday, but what can you bloody do, eh? So we're going to wait for Terry and then we're going to get outside. This should be fairly simple, putting it back together. Let's say you might need a diagram just to check your belt routing, but other than that, simple enough. Okay, so another new day, and we finally have a new part. This, however, isn't exactly the same, but it is the same diameter, thickness, a lot, and it fits on the spline. And so yeah, it's not quite the same. This one feels like it's solid, unlike this one, but I might be wrong. But it does fit. I've offered it up already, so right, fitting this is going to be easy enough. I'm going to have to do a check to tell you what kind of foot pounds we do this bolt back up. But when I get to that, I'll let you know. Well, I don't know about me, but I know Terry is getting the ump with GSF. We finally got the right pulley, and now we've got the wrong belt. We had the wrong belt right from the start, which we assumed was right. So he's gone back to try and get the right one now. Otherwise, I'm going to have to reuse the old one, which, as you can see, isn't ideal, but he needs it for work later, so it's got to be done. What I neglected to tell anyone about, I forgot at the beginning, was this second adjuster. You have to stick an Allen key in there, which is the same size as that one, crack it off, then use a 15mm spanner on the bolt, and you push it this way. It's going to take some effort, and that gives you enough slack to get your belt all the way back on to get ready to set this adjustment now. We want about a quarter turn, so that's a little bit slack. So I'm just going to bang this in here, tighten her up just a touch, and then tighten up this bolt, and that should be your tension nice and setting. Pretty simple. One thing left to do now is to torque that centre nut to 110 Newton meters. You want to use the torque wrench. You don't want to just wing it because you don't want it to fall off. So there you go, 110 Newton meters. Right, so we're all tightened up and we're all torqued up. Now, apart from when you first started, the exhaust knocked a little bit. This should sound like a new vehicle. Let me take it out of gear first. That'd be sensible. And there we go. Probably fucking doubly. Right, the old Citreon diesel, but not destroying itself anymore. Now top plastic fluid for his power steering, because I'm nice like that. We've just got to put it back down on 4 wheels and test it. So we're going to leave it running like that for now. I'll finish putting it back together. Right, so there you go. After a lot of fucking about and a couple of days ball ache and what have you, she's done. The job itself is actually really easy. If you can actually get the parts, look at the state of me. If you can actually get the parts, yeah. It is what it is though, that's how it is sometimes. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. If you're not interested in none of that balls, air him off, we don't care. Till next time though, cheers.